Been dragging the bottom for oh so long, but I can feel that power running strong. It's in the air, I can feel it now. The dragon's walls are crumbling down, and it's time to fly as I say goodbye to the problems that's been dragging me down. So
What is going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? I do apologize for the delay. Couple minutes short. We'll make it up. It was a little bit of a hectic start because it was such a busy night. You can see just for even redoing the timetable took a little bit of extra work, and that's what happens when you're a party of one. But luckily, I got my boy here, so we now become a party of two. You may be wondering.
One. Yes.
We're a wolf pack of one. You may be wondering, what is Matt wearing? That looks new and exciting. And if this damn... Uh-oh. Look at that.
That is
Wimkin... Yes, Wimkin gear is in the house, made by the Don't Unfriend Me show. Jason was stoked. I've been sending him emails on it, but he didn't get them, so he had no idea. But we're rocking the Wimkin gear tonight. If you have not been over to Wimkin, go to wimkin.com. You can read the list. There's a whole bunch to go over. We're going to be busy, and Leroy and I are going to try to do better than we did on last Tuesday, which was awesome, and go fast.
We're going to go really fast tonight, so buckle in.
That's right.
Somebody's going to get rug burn on this one.
That's correct.
Hey, Hogswins here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The Dumb Show and his website, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, Leroy, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
How are you? I'm great. I'm fantastic,
wonderful.
actually.
I'm doing good.
I had an amazing couple of days off, so it was nice.
Yeah, I missed you on Thursday. Wanted to address something real quick. Someone was talking about, hey, should I join the subscription group? We have a Facebook group that's $1.99 a month. We have the Dumb Club, which with all the photographs and now the $20,000 show, and all, it's just been nuts. And with the growth that we've had and with adding the morning videos and the news, it's just, there's no excuse. It's busy, and we're trying to figure out how we want to make the Dumb Club where it should be. We only have a handful of members now, people who just have been so awesome sticking around and helping us out. But I promise to have a decision on that in the next 30 days. We got some really good news, and there's a lot of cool things happening. So just hang with us. Know that the content that we're providing is really what you're participating with. It's not exclusive access, and everyone else is kind of getting the same access that you are. And honestly, that helps out tremendously. And if anybody, has some burrs on it and it doesn't feel good for them, totally down that if you want to cancel on the Dumb Club, you can. Or if you actually want to participate in it in the future and want to help the show, you can go to thedumbclub.com or thedumbshow.com and sign up for the Dumb Club. Pretty simple. Folks, we need some major shares on Twitter since we are late. We've lost a ton of viewership. It always happens, and we're very, very cognizant of trying not to be late, but we were late today, so we're sorry. We've got a lot to cover. Please stick a pin in the 16th of May at 6 o'clock till 11 at night, and we may go over. We are doing our fundraiser where we are trying to raise $10,000, and one of our viewers is going to match that. We have an A-lister coming. Leroy will attest. Would you consider this person to be a probably top 5 most well-known person who is in that class and group that we can't mention out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say that, it's possible, right, that everyone has heard of this person's name, right?
Yeah.
And his name is probably passed through the lips of several in Hollywood too. So
yeah, it's pretty.
That's a hint.
It's a big, big get. And the fact that he was like, listen, I can't do an event. You got to talk to my event staff. And then we told him it was like a show. And he's like, listen, it's past my bedtime, but I'll be there. And we're like, wait a second. He just committed to 5 hours. And we're like, oh, bro, we don't need you for 5 hours. And he's like, well, I can do this all day. So just a really good dude. Yeah, we can. We got Damani Felder going to be there that night. We've got Ryan Samuels coming that night. Barry Morgenstein will be coming that evening as well. We're working, of course, Leroy, Amy, myself will all be there, and we're working on getting a couple of more big names. So it's going to be a great night. Please be there. Santana, happy anniversary. If I don't catch you, May 16th will be busy. So we can't wait to see you. All right, we are automatically going to add 17 minutes to the show. We know we're behind. We apologize. It was a very busy night, but I need everyone to do me a favor. Please like and share this out, especially on Twitter. We need our Twitter and YouTube people to show up tonight. All right, so first thing is first. By the way, if you want to go get your Wimkin shirt, you can go do that by going to thedumbshow.com, and all the proceeds are going to Wimkin. So we're not keeping a penny. So anything you do will go to Jason, and to keep up the freedom fight of having a social media platform that doesn't censor speech. My dog is coming. I have to say hi to her. Hi, baby. How are we doing? Leroy, she is twice the size as when you were here. Dude, she's already like 50 pounds. She's
Oh my God.
she's gonna be a 75 pounder, dude. She's a big girl. All right, let's rock and roll. Past his bedtime, you say? East Coast. Funny. No, actually. I'm not gonna tell you which coast he's on, but he's like, this is a person who gets to bed very, very early. So we're not gonna listen. We keep secrets for a living. You're not getting it out of us. So
no, I'm actually really good at the misdirection. You could just call me like David Copperfield, because just with that one hint, I'd be like, oh man, are we talking Jocko? See, now you don't know.
Yeah, so people have guessed and people have thrown out the name. I have seen, now that I've seen all the names, and there's a little separation between when I saw it. I will tell you, someone did guess it correctly, and somebody does know, because they figured out from the silhouette to do a reverse Google image search, and they figured it out. And you know what? And that's cool. We appreciate that. You know what? And the great thing about that person is they didn't say anything. Okay, let's get to it. We've got 2 shirts to give away. Olivia's going to remind me tonight that I have to send those out. Once again, it's been a little busy, but we will get those out this evening. You sent me a text.
Those Wimkin shirts.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're asking all the hosts to wear one. So yeah, you'll have it.
Yeah.
How's your internet connection going? You're not doing too well. You look a little.
It's a little fuzzy, isn't it?
It's okay. Give it a second. We'll see if it'll go through and clean up.
We're having some really horrid winds right now, and there were talk of storms in my area, so I might drop off.
Yeah, and it wasn't. Just let me know if you do, because it's busy. So you sent me a text earlier in regards to Bakersfield, California, which is my old stomping grounds. A brief stint of my life was spent there. Why don't you share with everybody what you were mentioning and why you were mentioning it?
So in the news today, AOC had given quite a lengthy speech where she would pretty well admonished on every point the current administration, everything that Trump had done, from trade wars to women's rights to if you can name it, she mentioned it. And the whole point of the speech was just to put more of a divider between the left and the right in this country. And while she was delivering it, she was very motivational to the crowd, which, if you can imagine, it's her crowd to begin with, so they should have all already been on their feet. But she really tried to nail this message home. And it was one of, look, you can point to Trump for all of your woes. And if you want proper representation in this country, look no further than myself. That is basically what her message was. And so I really felt like this was a point in her career. It could have been an inflection point where she might be aiming up for bigger and better political positions. And that was just how I saw it.
Yeah, it's a really, really observant. I can't believe I'm about observant observation. it's faux pas. You're not supposed to do that. Observant.
Astute observation.
Astute observation, or I went the other way with another A word, assessment.
I love the A words.
I do too. I don't believe that Ocasio-Cortez is looking to be the president of the United States. I believe she understands that she does not have the runway for that. I believe she understands that she is. And here's my prediction: is that she absolutely is vying for higher office, and that would be Nancy Pelosi's spot. She wants to be the next Nancy Pelosi, and she's always been combative with Nancy Pelosi, from going and doing a sit-in in her office, from backbiting and things to this effect. So AOC wants to. She understands that Hakeem Jeffries is a complete failure in every aspect. She understands that Chuck Schumer is a complete failure. Then there's nobody else primed to take over the speakership. This would allow her to become the speaker. That's what she wants. And she's doing all of this because she is pulling a trick from Donald Trump's 2016 playbook, which is having these giant rallies and collecting phone numbers, emails, addresses. So she has her own network of 30 million people to activate like Donald Trump did. And this, she can hold ransom the current Democrat Party for when it is time to select a president, which is more, in my opinion, likely that, and I know this sounds crazy, that Bernie Sanders is going to make a push for 2028, which is why he's with AOC. I believe he's handing the torch off to AOC, but Bernie is going to be a disruptor. He's going to come in like Donald Trump, and he's going to kick out the garbage candidates and force the DNC to accommodate and play ball with him like they had to do in 2016 with the superdelegates with Hillary Clinton. This is a perfect strategy for the Democratic Socialist Party, the progressives of the party, the communists, and that's what they are, to overthrow the liberal portions remaining of that party. This is the plan from AOC. This is what she's doing, and it's very, very clear, and it works because Donald Trump did the same thing. Thoughts on that, LEEROY?
No, I would completely agree. I wouldn't go so far as to say that AOC, to your point, is looking for anything president or vice president, but I could definitely see Speaker of the House. She has enough of that likability factor within her own group, and because she's mildly attractive, right? There are people on the right. Oh, she's hot. There are people on the right that would say, "Oh, I'd listen to that talk all day," right? And the idea behind that is that I think, to your point, she doesn't have the credentials to man those top 2 spots, but she's definitely punching up. She's looking for something bigger.
It's really interesting that conservatives right now are saying that AOC is an idiot, and she single-handedly has become the most prominent face in the Democratic Party, being a full-blown idiot. I don't know if you're paying attention, but this idiot is going into deeply red conservative states and polling numbers of 30, 35,000 people. And don't sit here and tell me they're paid. Please don't be that ignorant. Don't be that naive. This woman may be an idiot, but Joe Biden was an idiot, and look where that got us. Nikki Haley was very idiotic about some of the things she said, and look at where she was. She almost had the opportunity to hold Donald Trump by the cojones, and luckily he pivoted on abortion and therefore rendering her inert. But don't underestimate women. They may not be electable from the presidential standpoint, but they are very influential in America. And if you go ahead and forget how big of a thorn Nancy Pelosi was, it's because everyone said, oh, she's nothing. She's an idiot. And that woman took it to Republicans for 20 years and bent us over the barrel. Don't underestimate AOC and the stupidity of America, because this will be now like the 7th or 8th warning I've given you that you don't pay attention to, and you blow it off, and then it happens, and then you come back and go, oh, well, we read the tea leaves. No, you adamantly said she was stupid. And you told me, you've been telling me she's stupid for 7 years. And guess what? She is now the #1 Democrat in the Democrat Party. And whether you like it or not, she is touring the country and doing what Trump did in 2016. Bernie Sanders won't be a president, but he can run. And you have to remember what he did in 2016 to Hillary Clinton. He was the de facto DNC select. And he also was in 2020 until they took it out from Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders yet again with mail-in voting and putting Kamala on the ticket with Biden. So be very careful when you call her an idiot, because this idiot is becoming a fairly decent politician, and that should scare the shit out of you people.
Yeah. Yeah, because once that likability factor reaches a point of a certain mass at speed, that would be dangerous for a party. We had said it for years that Nancy Pelosi, there wasn't a Republican around who would have said that, hey, I don't want Nancy Pelosi in our party, right? Because
if she was a Republican.
If she was a Republican, because she was an absolute pit viper. All right. So now you have that same kind of aggression coupled with somebody who is not terrible on the eyes. That's an easy win right there.
It goes.
That is exactly what the Democrat Party needs. Actually, is somebody that is
easy on the eyes. Perfect. No. I'm with you. Dude. It was the video that I did this morning. Luigi Mangione murdered a CEO, and the guy is like the left's favorite human being in the world because he has a smile. Okay. Karen Eschenbach, $20 DNA test for Ash. She sent that last night. We didn't get it in. It came in at the last moment. So Karen, thank you so much for that. Here is the video of AOC, and I just want you to get the feel for it. You guys, please don't misrepresent what I'm saying. I'm not saying that AOC has a chance to be president. What I'm saying is that she is out there rallying 2 years before year and a half for the midterms when no one else is. There's a reason. And I'm telling you the reason is she wants to grab the Liberal Party by the cojones and take it over. And that's what she's doing. She is making a PAC. She is making a political action committee. She is going to raise probably in the upwards of $250 million. Think about that. And just soak that in for a minute, because every one of these events, she's pulling in, $500,000, $600,000 in donations, folks.
Right. The people that aren't able to buy their blue hair dye from China, she is convincing them to make those donations to her party.
That's right. Listen, you guys just pay attention, okay? Seriously, I love you all. But I'm sorry to be a little condescending, but just pay attention and listen, okay? Here you go. And there's a reason I'm saying that. And it's not because I know it all, but I'm telling you I understand politics. I've earned the right for you to be like, you know what? We're going to give Matt the benefit of the doubt. And Leroy, thank you very much. That's Idaho. with no election in sight in a red town. Yes.
See a few red hats in there.
Yep. I love when people say they're all paid. No, they're not. And it's so disingenuous to say so. Trust me, that is Idaho incarnate. Here's some of the speech where she calls Donald Trump a rapist. This is conversation for fundraising, folks. This is she wants to go toe to toe with Donald Trump. She wants Trump to say her name. Donald Trump, with all the love in my heart and soul, you would be a fool to mention her. Don't. Do not give her airtime. Do not give her credibility. Do not give her talking points. Well, did you hear what AOC said about me? Because he's not dumb enough to do that. He's very intelligent. He's got Corey Lewandowski, but I promise you, she's saying this just to get a reaction from Donald Trump. Go ahead, Leroy.
Oh, actually, his best course of action might be to say, "Who?"
Yeah, that's right. But I thought she retired. Didn't she? Didn't she come to work for me at the plaza or something?
Pull the old Al Pacino line. That's the one with the great ass.
The great ass. Ferocious, ain't I?
Found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud.
Who does that sound like, everybody? Come on. Use that cranium. Who is that? A direct representation of that we just heard for 3 months and over $2 billion. Anybody? Leroy?
Man, my first thought, honestly, was, man, those are the words of Hillary Clinton passing through a Hispanic's lips.
Yeah, but honestly, more than that, I mean, just to be completely transparent, it's very much like Kamala.
Oh,
She's very much sounds like Kamala, and that should scare you, because that means she is being prepped by the same. And if you don't believe me,
not an alcoholic,
yeah, exactly, right, and knee pads, and it's a little like Hillary. There's no doubt.
Felony counts of fraud. Liable for sexual abuse. Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too. When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror.
The chick with blue hair. I'm just noticing the chick with blue hair in the audience. I'm like, can't ever go without one.
Why does she have to be hot? Gosh.
I know, right?
Darn it. I mean, just like it makes it so much harder to hate her. Luckily, she opens her mouth and it's over.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
That sounds just like her. And listen, I'm not saying fear AOC. I'm fear the political action committee that she is going to create, because it's going to generate traffic. If she can mobilize this youth generation, which is what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris failed to do, Donald Trump's going to have a hard time. And when I say hard time, it's going to be in 2026. This has everything to do with the midterms. If she delivers the House, she'll be the next Speaker of the House. You better just stick a fork in it right now and mark my words right now that AOC, if we lose in 2026, AOC will be the Speaker of the House. Who wants to bet me?
The one thing that the Democrat Party needs like for voters right now, she has the youth, she has the woman vote, she has the person of color vote. She is checking a lot of boxes and bringing enough energy and enough vitriol towards the Republican Party that she's going to carry a lot of weight.
That's right. So she's going to try to deliver the House in 2026. So we need to see that effort begin. Not right now. She's practicing. She's reading off paper. They don't even have money for teleprompters. They don't have enough money for high-end graphics. The fight oligarchy looks like it came out of HBO commercials from 1980. She's not serious yet. She will be. In the next 6 months, they are going to ramp it up. And when they do, that is the time for Republicans to counteract. And that's when we need to see the cabinet involved. That's when we need to see Governor Glenn Youngkin involved. That's when we need to see all the possibility candidates that Donald Trump wants to move forward, and even JD to get out there. Right now, we just need to wait. Now, can she be held liable for what she said? Not in a political campaign conversation. She can't. Not on the stump. It's just not going to happen. Donald Trump has said some pretty horrendous shit about people. They've said it about it's political campaigning. It's pretty much gets a carte blanche and a pass. Unless she says something truly damaging, no, he's not going to be able to hit her on it. And the president can't go around and suing members of Congress for disagreeing with him. It's freedom of speech. And we don't want him to. Don't give her any oxygen. Just let her do what she's doing and know that you know what she's doing. And how do you counteract it? Have her defend her policies. Because all Trump has to say is, hey, guy, I'm not on the ballot in 2026. I don't know what. Does she have any policies she wants to talk about? That will happen, and they will dismantle her. But I'm telling you this, if they manage to take over the House, she will be Speaker of the House, mark my words, because she is going to do the most campaigning. And this is what her and Bernie want, if you haven't been paying attention. All right. Any other thoughts on that there, Leroy?
Nope, I'm good.
Awesome.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
A Swas-buckling good time. I saw this run across my feed, and I was perplexed when I saw a homeowner with a mosaic style pattern of a swastika, giant swastika in their driveway. And I was like, this can't be real. And it is. Here is the video. You tell me, is this freedom of speech? What would you do if this was your neighbor? All those feelings. Here it is.
It's a new development in the East Bay. It's all about that giant swastika in a man's front yard. How a Contra Costa County lawmaker wants to intervene.
The homeowner says it's not a symbol of hate.
Raj, neighbors say when they first saw it, they thought the homeowner was just doing some upgrades to his front yard. But then they saw the design that was taking shape here, and they couldn't believe it. Now, I just chatted with a homeowner who said he just thinks it's a cool design and has no intention of removing it.
It makes me feel really, really bad.
Jan Hall says she feels like crying every time she passes by her neighbor's new front yard landscaping. A symbol made from cement that looks like a swastika.
Looked? Lady, you can't get any more. You can't.
It straight up is.
What do you mean looked? Yeah, and that old lady looks like her hair is white.
When I suggested filling in those empty spots, he said he doesn't want to do that because that's for the oil to drip down. Again, he tells me he does not hate anybody. He says he's a Christian man. He simply likes the design. He thinks it's cool. In fact, he says he even has one in tile in his shower.
Yeah, it seems totally legit. Like, I believe him. Why wouldn't you? I mean, listen, I happen to think that all 3 6s lined up symmetrically is a beautiful thing. What do you mean sacrificing goats and drinking their blood is a bad thing?
I hung that cross upside down and it's beautiful.
There's nothing wrong with it. What do you mean I can't burn a cross on people's lawn for good luck? This is ridiculous.
It's my nightlight. Right.
What do you mean porch monkey is a slur? That's ridiculous. I'm bringing that back. I'm embracing it. My grandma used to say it, according to Jay and Silent Bob.
That's kind of the point too, right? Because if you go far back enough in the history books, the actual real swastika prior to Germany was in fact supposed to be like some sort of symbol for peace or something along those lines.
It was a Buddhist and Hindu symbol. Yeah.
Right. But then when, good old fashioned Adolf got a hold of it, he changed it forever. It's the same reason nobody can ever have one of those silly mustaches again, right?
Right.
And you have to accept at some point that you as a homeowner, right? I know he might be looking at history books. He might be going that far back in history saying, look, we're going to bring it back because it's in good measure now. But nobody's going to accept it. Like the killing of better than 10 million people kind of burned that, no pun intended, burned that forever. Nobody's ever going to accept it.
Right. And being a Hindu symbol, I mean, everyone has it in some way or other in history. And of course, Hitler took this, and it is supposed to resemble the SS and on its side, and simply just flipped it around. But this is in history all over the world, and it's been distorted and perverted by Adolf Hitler. That doesn't matter. The moment, like it's kind of like the Azov battalion,
right?
Yeah, it's like the Azov battalion in Ukraine when they started using some of the Christians, the Third Reich symbols for the sun and white nationalism, and yeah, you know what you're doing. It's like no, it's just a cool symbol. Yeah, right. You know what it is. Give me a break. So these people. Here's the question. Well, first of all, I gotta say one thing. Folks, thedumbshow.com/donate. Last night was the second night we haven't hit goal, and it was a rough night. So, yes, thank you. Thank God. That's what we're talking about. The Bobby Richardson.
$51.99 with love. Thank you.
We need all the help to knock this out tonight. So we got to keep the show profitable. We got to keep moving forward. Need your help tonight. So if you have the ability, please do. Taxes were due today. You know where you're at. Hopefully you're in a good spot. We wrote our check, or writing our check, at 11:59. Our accountant is taking us up to the minute for a reason. She feels she can save us another couple $1,000s. So do me a favor. If you have a chance, please donate to The Dumb Show at thedumbshow.com/donate. It's 100% secure. It is safe, and please help us out. What would you do? Your neighbor decides to put up a concrete swastika and throw a flag up on their flagpole. What are you going to do?
I mean, I am going to write to the city. I am going to take every measure that I can do, right? I will complain. I will write my congressman. I will do everything I can to pressure the homeowner into getting that removed. Short of that, I would probably move.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a Star of David up on a pole, and I'm going to go ahead and play, have dreidels, and I'm going to get a giant, candle lit, and, I'll probably get a life-size yarmulke, have a rabbi come in there and get on a PA, whatever it takes. I'll just do whatever I can until they move. I mean, I would get into a war. It'd be like, no, I'd probably move. I just, what can you do? Because the moment you retaliate against that person, you're going to be going to jail.
Just as bad then, right?
Freedom of speech. You have a right. People have a right to be an asshole, unfortunately, and that's just the way it works, and there's nothing we can do to change it. The guy is obviously doing it to get, I mean, this guy, he probably is self gratifying himself over this video. And this is what he wanted. I mean, I didn't know. I was just making some geometric patterns that completely lined up with the Third Reich.
Right.
Divine intervention. Have you been following this Karmelo Anthony case? Not the basketball player, but the stabber, another type of.
No, I did see a headline about it, but there were so many other headlines going on that I didn't follow it deeply.
So let me give you the basic rundown. Two brothers, twins, were at a track meet. They got into an altercation, got a little lippy. They got into it with a gentleman who is sitting there, African American. Since it's now about race, of course, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the race element. Was sitting down, and they had told him to move, and he was on the wrong side. First of all, he was on the wrong side of the event. He had no right to be there, and they told him to move. They got a little lippy, said you need to get your ass up, whatever. Probably exchanged some pleasantry like guys would. And the gentleman, Karmelo, who was sitting down, allegedly said, touch me and find out. And
that's in it.
Right. Then went ahead and touched him. and he stabbed him in the heart and killed him.
Whoa.
Right, that escalated quickly, right? You know, you're like, what, with a javelin? Like with a hammer, with a discus? Like they're at a track and field event. What did he stab with? With a knife. So there's a whole bunch of questions that pop up. Here is Alan Dershowitz, who had some comments, who kind of says the quiet part out loud on this. I'm not a big fan of Dershey, but here it is. Listen.
This is all about who the jury is determine the outcome of this case, without a doubt. This is all about who the jury is. This will all be determined by the jury. If the racial factors were reversed, if a white man had killed an unarmed black man, everybody would be on the reverse side of this. We live in a society where everything is judged by race. You know, the Bible says to judges and prosecutors, don't recognize people, just do abstract justice. We're way, way, way beyond that. If the racial elements were reversed there, virtually all the people who are calling for him to be acquitted would be calling for him to be convicted, and vice versa. Let's not kid ourselves. We live in a race-conscious society, and jury selection, which, of course, your other guest is so brilliant at and did so well in the Zimmerman case, is determine the outcome of this case, without a doubt.
Like questions pop up, and I know they probably pop up for you there, LEEROY. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I know you're not well versed.
No, I'm not well versed on it. And one correction that I would make for Professor Dershowitz is that no, he's correct in that it is the first thing that is currently seen in society, but we are not way, way, way beyond that. Unfortunately, we are way, way, way behind that. That bar that we're supposed to recognize, that justice is supposed to be blind. We're behind that 8 ball. We're not in front of it. So I would make that correction to him. And I would also say that I would need to know more of the specifics of the case. I don't want to speak without all of that information and then sound like an asshole later. That's not what I would want to do. I would just simply ask. So he was approached in the stands, and
no, sitting on the field in a tent at. He is a participant in the track and field event for the opposing team. Thank you, Joanne.
Gotcha. Thank you, Joanne. So he was on the field in a tent, and 2 dudes came up to him, approached him, touched him, and then he stabbed them with a knife that he had on him.
Right. See, I don't care about everything else. I don't care about the racial implications. I don't care if the twin brothers were complete jerks. The whole point is, why'd you have a knife? Then it's premeditated. Right. So you're toast. They reduced his bail from $1 million down to $250,000. He's out on bail. And it blows me away. I look at Kyle Rittenhouse, $2 million in bail, wasn't released, wasn't reduced. And the left called for his head and wanted him killed for, shooting 3 pedophiles. I mean, we all know what they were charged with. I mean, these people were not good people. It's amazing. You shoot into a crowd of liberals and you just happen to hit 3 pedos. Wow. What would the odds be? So
talk about a trifecta.
Right. Wow. What a good shot. I mean, it's almost like he was shooting fish in a barrel of fish. So I don't have a lot to say about this. I want to hear the trial, but here's the problem. His parents, with the $400,000 they raised, bought a house.
That's bizarre.
So they raised money for his defense fund, which means that the NAACP came in and said, we've got your defense fund. So they went ahead and used the money for something else that they raised on GoFundMe. So don't you find it interesting? Because the only way, first of all, this is a capital murder. This is going to be $1.5 million. To try a capital murder case, it's $1 million, especially one this large. It's going to be $1.5 million. So somebody has come in and said, we got you. We're going to pay for this for you. More than likely the NAACP, the Rainbow Coalition, Jesse Jackson Brigade. But the GoFundMe, they took the money and bought a fucking house, LEEROY. I mean, they should get on the BLM board for a move like that.
Pretty slimy, yeah. Yeah. And I can hear all the lefties now. Where'd he get the knife? Did he take it from his father's gun cabinet?
Right.
Just like
was it a fully automatic knife?
It was a semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic knife, which means every time you stab somebody, it goes. That makes sense. Better than
Pull the
those
trigger.
auto knives. Automatic knives are called chainsaws. So, listen, I don't have. First of all, if you're going to name somebody after a basketball player, Carmelo Anthony is not the guy. Saw him play for the Nuggets. Doesn't have a lot of success anywhere he went. Was a decent outside shooter. Couldn't play defense to save his life. There's so many others, right? So many others. But my problem here is that I want to know where the money came from. You're going to try a capital murder case. I want to know where the money went. And if the NAACP picked this up, if Rainbow Coalition picked this up, if the Jesse Brigade, now Sharpton Brigade picked this up, why? And why are we allowing these people to do so? Yeah, and Frederick said they bought the house to borrow against it. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right. You're paying interest on the money that you would have otherwise used to defend your son from capital murder.
So stupid. You literally have 2 years of payments into a capital murder case right there. And if he's acquitted, you have civil litigation that you can turn against this. You could go after media. You could go after his parents. There's a lot of things you can do. But this kid's going to go to jail for the rest of at least the next 2 to 3 decades. You need to understand that. And it's not self-defense. I don't care if they were pummeling the shit out of him. You brought a knife to a track and field event. You were in an area you weren't supposed to be. You were a rival. Who knows? They may have had it. Maybe they don't like black people. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Okay, I think we're back on. Oh, I love this new feature Ecamm added. When you crash, they rebroadcast for you. So let's check everywhere. If you guys can see this, please let us know. All right, we got 9 on YouTube. Looks like Facebook might be on. It's trying. Yep, Facebook's on. Check Wimkin and Twitter and Rumble, please. Yeah, we lost power, guys. We lost power. So we might lose it again. There's horrible winds. Horrible, horrible, horrible winds. It's really bad outside. Winds probably 60 miles an hour, gusts. YouTube is working. Okay, good. It's the calmest that it's ever been. LEEROY can call back in whenever he's ready, Olivia. You said I was up on Facebook? I'm still seeing no numbers on Facebook. Got a lot of likes. Looks like YouTube is up. If someone could check Facebook, that's our most important one. As long as Facebook is up. We want them all up, but all right. Okay, it says Facebook is not up. They cancel it. Why? Why would they do that? Let's just wait for Facebook because it was supposed to be. I'm going to go to Facebook Producer and try to start it up again. All right, Facebook is not working. Okay. I can create a reel. Settings, insights. So crazy. I'm going to see if I can. What? Okay, Twitter's up. So it looks like everything's up on Facebook. I mean, so it worked everywhere, but the largest social media platform in the world. Morons. All right, I'm going to see if I can somehow get it to re-up. maybe create another feed. I don't think I can. Oh, stream. Here we go. Stream settings, get embed code, media source. So, sorry, folks. Stay with me. View in Safari. It says I'm still streaming.
On my end, I don't know if you can see this, but on my end, it's showing 67 people are on.
Yeah, but it looks like it ended at 43:29. It did. Dude, when I look at some of these other live numbers and I see these people, like 6,000 people on Facebook, and they've got 20,000 followers, I'm just like, how do I not just like want to like just jump off a cliff? Makes me sick. The only way to fix this is to shut down and re-add Facebook. I'm thinking if there's a way that I can add this. I'm so sorry, Leroy. It's not my fault.
You're fine.
No power, dude.
Man, I get it.
Go to Facebook producer. I see it restarting from the beginning, but it's not restart. Yeah, it's the show lost power, everybody. Just hang tight. We had a blackout or a brownout here. I don't think there's a way for me to stream to Facebook unless I shut down and start over again. And so I just need to get a vote. It's just, we're losing too many people. I know Twitter people will come back. I know my YouTube people come back. I think we restarted. Were we on Liv? Where are you? I don't need the computer check, sweetie. I need you over here. Wimkin's down. All right, I'm restarting, folks. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes. It'll be 5 minutes, and we're just going to start it over. We'll be right back.